Hey guys, Asher coming at you today, Marine Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video. We have Karato Foxhunter guide coming at you guys. First, a few shout outs to you. We have Xander Sparks looking for a Karato. I've never seen him used without Yumeko. We'll do with Yumeko and without Yumeko. We have Chris. We have more Chris, an average YouTube enjoyer, 3000 looking for a Karato guide. Chris, it's your lucky day, man. Arrow, Chris, Zeno. Let's make it happen, guys. Shout out to all of you guys who keep the champion guide requests coming in the comments below. Let's go ahead and take a look at Karato. So first of all, guys, if I do not give a guide immediately on a champion that you've been requesting for a long time, just know that there's a lot of people requesting a lot of champions, so I'm only one man. I can only get to, I try to do around 4 or 5 guides a week here, so bear with me, be patient, eventually we'll get everybody. Karato Foxhunter, a previous fusion inside the game, looks really, really cool. He's got the bow, he's got the sword. Looks awesome, right? Definitely fits the Shadowkin aesthetic. He is Spirit Affinity, as I mentioned, Shadowkin Legendary attack-based champion. His base stats, 17k on the HP, not too bad for an attack-based champion, not too great, about average. 1564 for the attack is very good. And then we have, I would say very good, but not great. Over 1600, we get into the great territory, but you guys know, it all depends on the multipliers, really, right? The multipliers and the attack. The attack is going to be good because it's going to inform you, just similar with HP, attack, and defense. It's going to inform you with how easily you're able to scale that number higher with percentage-based substats and gear and ascension stats now, but it's not going to tell the whole story when it comes to how much damage they're able to provide. We also have the defense being very low at 859, very squishy on Karato Foxhunter, and speed average to maybe slightly below at 99. On the A1 is a triple hitter. Each hit has a 30% chance when booked to placing a weaken big version for 2 turns. That's a nice debuff there on the A1 big version of weaken. Pretty dependable considering every hit has that chance of landing it. On the A2, Bedevil. Attack 1 enemy, 2-turn stun on a 3-turn cooldown, grants an extra turn, and resets the cooldown of this skill if Yumeko is on the same team and if this skill kills an enemy, which can be fairly hard to do. It's weird because getting the extra turn is great, but it really negates the 2-turn stun because if they're dead, who cares about the 2-turn stun? They're dead, right? Anyway, the A3, Suppression Ward is an AoE on a 4-turn cooldown, attacks all enemies, 100% chance of placing a block active skills. It cannot be resisted if Yumeko's on the same team, which again, I've always found this tandem, Yumeko and Karato, to be good in that they're both very good champions, right? Especially Yumeko. But also a bit redundant because we already talked about the stun. You land the stun, but you want to kill them, so the stun's meaningless. Block active skills. You want to land the block active skills, but Yumeko has an ability that is redundant and better than block active skills. She puts a full lockout, puts all their skills on cooldowns. Now, that being said, there are circumstances when Yumeko's not going to have her Dance of Time, her lockout skill on cooldown, and especially longer battles. You can get really locked down control when you have them both together. But the good news is between the block active skills and between the 2-turn stun, even if you don't have Yumeko, you can get some nice damage, some nice debuffs, the weekend as well, and a lot of control out of Karato Foxhunter, even without Yumeko. On his passive, Stoicism. Damage inflicted by this champion cannot be decreased by passive skills or masteries. Really nice there, except for by bosses, right? Damage inflicted by this champion also cannot be increased by ally passive skills except when attacking bosses. Okay, there we go. Pretty good. Obviously, this is going to negate any damage mitigating passive, right? So, for example, going against a Duchess team, going against a Pythion team, there's not going to be any damage mitigation by their passives, which is nice. Same thing, obviously, for Masteries, right? So, for example, Blastproof, mitigate AoE damage by 5% is going to be negated when it comes to Karato Foxhunter. He has crit rate in all battles by 20%. It's not a very good aura, but it can be useful if you want to build a team specifically around Karato. Build everybody to 80% or something like that. Or even if you wanted to build, if you didn't have a better aura to use and you wanted to build him with maybe like 85 85, 90%. You just couldn't get to 100% with your gear. Of course, you could consider running him as an or lead. However, I am aiming for 100% crit rate when building Karato. Speaking of building Karato, let's go ahead and take a look at the build that we're going to be highlighting in today's video. It's going to be a pretty typical build. I think that Karo, not Karo, Kale, we love you, but stop. Karato. There we go. So I have him in lethal and in perception, right? For obvious reasons. Lethal, he's a nuker. He is a nuker. So we want him to ignore defense ideally. So savage or lethal gear or even cruel gear is going to be the best sets for this champion to get more damage out of him. However, we do want some accuracy on him as well, right? Especially in PvE environments, the block active skill is going to be great for wave content. The weekend is going to be great for bosses on the A1. And of course, we have the 2-turn stun, which is going to be great basically everywhere, right? So we do want accuracy, thus the perception gear on him as well. And now that I look at it too, 282 accuracy, what we have on him right now, it's just not enough. So we're going to take the attack banner off of him. All right, now we fixed that. This is much better. 378 base accuracy. I like a lot more. So lethal and perception. Now you'll notice on this build, and I have to call this out right out the gate here, he's super squishy. 35k HP, 2100 on the defense is very, very risky. Basically almost anywhere outside the arena, provided you're confident you can keep him alive. In today's video, I'm pretty confident I can keep him alive. If he was dying, you know, it's obvious, but it bears saying anyway, is we want to build him with HP percentage. HP flat stat or defense flat stat works on the ring, for example. It's a good way to get some extra HP or defense, or you could even go on the chest because he needs to be alive first and foremost. That being said, we have 206 speed, over 100, well over 100 crit rate. Obviously 100 will do the trick just fine, and then some crit damage and accuracy. He's kind of a tough champion to build because we need some survivability, obviously. We need some attack. We need speed. We'd love speed. We'd love crit rate, crit damage. We need everything on this guy, right? But you run into that on every attack-based nuker with debuffs, you know, in this game. They're kind of tricky to build sometimes, especially for non-endgame players who are limited in terms of what they have for accessories and for gear. So we don't have everything glyphed up. I'm sure we could get a lot more stats if we did that, but we're not going to sit here and do that in today's video. We did get a little extra accuracy off the banner while I've been blabbing. We have crit damage on the amulet. We have attack on the ring. We have speed on the boots. We have attack percentage on the chest. We have crit damage on the gauntlets, okay? Let's talk about blessings. We don't have them awakened at all right now, but for this champion, it's going to be probably pretty obvious. For PvE, we want to build him with Brimstone, unless you have him, you know, all the way awakened, right? Congratulations if you do. In that case, I would go with Crushing Rend. Any damage dealer who's totally awakened, fully awakened, 9 times out of 10, I'm recommending Crushing Rend. Every hit will ignore a percentage of the target's defense in PvE, right? That being said, I would probably go Brimstone for PvE. In the arena, you could consider Polymorph. He's already got a lot of control in his kit anyway. I think with this build in this video, if I had him awakened at all, I would go with Polymorph because it's so strong and we're building him with accuracy anyway. For Masteries, you guys can see what we went with here. So we have the offensive side of things. We went crit rate, crit damage, ruthless ambush, opportunist. We come down with kill streak and go down to Helm Smasher as our tier 6. What was I doing here on the defensive side of things? Well, we're getting a little bit of resist, picking up improved parry to mitigate critical damage in the arena with his champion. We're picking up Harvest Despair because he does drop a 2-turn stun, so we can land the leech as well. Which is nice. However, it won't work against bosses because bosses are not going to be able to get stunned, right? And then we have him coming down, counterattacking with the A1, thus landing more weakens and more damage on Retribution. Also helpful for Fire Knight. If I was going to run support tree, let me just pull up hellhades.com. They give him as a 4 overall rating, which is actually really, really good. I think I agree with that score. They give him pretty good scores across the board here as a damage dealer, control champion, Ice Golem, Dragon, Fire Knight, Spider, all 4 or higher in the regular versions. In the hard modes, not as high as a rating there. Dark Fae, a 4.5. Good lockout champion with the block active skills against your mirrored versions of your champions, right? So can definitely use this guy in a lot of different areas of the game. He's a pretty competent and versatile nuker. He's a 4 out of 5 in the arena as well, which I would agree with also. A 1.5 on a triple hitter on the A1 is pretty dang hard. 4.5 overall potential on them in terms of the multipliers with all hits combined. On the A2, it hits very hard as well. A 6.5 multiplier. And on the AoE on the A3, a 4.65, which is a very hard hitting ability as well. So this dude, as we always talk about nukers, it always matters quite a bit what the multipliers are, and he absolutely has those multipliers to justify using him as a control and a nuker and investing in him with confidence. Hey, the one thing I told you I was going to look at, I didn't look at the Masteries. So let me give you a, yeah, I would go this route, right? If you were going to go down the support tree, I would come down, I would pick up Master Hexer to extend the duration. I would also actually pick up Sniper, okay? I would pick up Sniper instead of Methodical, I think. Or, yeah, no, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. This is the best PvE build, I think, with the one exception of Sniper instead of Methodical. I do agree with switching from Helm Smasher to Giant Slayer if we're using him primarily in dungeon content, well, anywhere outside the arena, anywhere PvE. He does have that triple hitter on his A1, so take advantage of Giant Slayer versus going with War Master. So again, the two main changes are go support tree instead, pick up your accuracy, come down, pick up Sniper, because you want that weekend to land on the A1, right? And that's a meaningful 5% bump because it applies to all 3 of his hits. Pick up Master Hexer, go down from Bring It Down to Kill Streak to Giant Slayer. There we go. All right, guys, let's stop talking about him and let's bring him into battle. What do you say? I have a few teams lined up for you guys today. I want to start in the arena. I want to show him on a Yumeko team and then on a non-Yumeko team. So this is going to be a Yumeko team. I like this team because it's got kind of an old school flair to it. It's all out speed and control. Arbiter, Shuzen, and Yumeko, right? So we're going heavy on the speed and light on the damage. Karato's our only damage dealer on this squad, but there's a lot of control, a lot of manipulation, and it's very tough, even in the meta right now, it's very tough to deal with a team like this, right? So we went in with Yumeko, we put all their skills on cooldown. Now, let's just hand things right to our guy, right? So we give him some buffs. He has increased attack, increased crit rate, increased crit damage. Now we have a choice here. We can go AoE and try to land some block active skills, or we can go for a 2-turn stun on, in this case, UDK. Not going to be worth it to go to the 2-turn stun. We didn't do a ton of damage there. They were under a nice double shield with Krisk, right? I think. And what we did was we came in and at least blocked all of their active skills so we can keep everybody alive except for Karato here. Again, we built him very squishy, so good thing is we have a reviver on the team so we can pick him right back up, right? We can come in there, try to get rid of these buffs, and we do, thanks to Arbiter. Let's come in and try to speed tune a little bit as well. Let's come in against Rotos to increase that turn meter with the A1, because what we're trying to do here is get back to Karato so we can go in there, okay, and I mean, I might as well 2-turn stun him, right? 2-turn stun and a lot of damage as well. Let's keep picking on Rotos here with the turn meter manipulation. The cool thing about this is, if you've noticed, even though it's not like a super fast battle or anything like that, we are making very, very quick time here in terms of this team. They can't do anything, right? Even though we're losing Karato and we're not like bleeding through this squad, we have Shuzen going in there with block active skills on her A1. We have Yumeko locking them out with Dance of Time. We have Karato there, block active skills as well. 2-turn stun right there on Wither the Crown, right? So there's so much control in this team, the A3 of Shuzen the Valorous, that no matter how powerful the other team is, it's very difficult to respond to this much control in one team, right? So I'll do one more battle with Yumeko, then I'll take Yumeko out of the team and show you what a team could look like, a little bit less orthodox than this one. We land a 2-turn stun on Emic there, which is pretty cool, right? Obviously, we're dealing with a Stone Skin Duchess, so might as well neutralize the second biggest threat on the team. And now that I'm looking at this squad, I'm realizing now that it's one of those teams of all a bunch of support champions, but it's okay. They're going to revive, and we can just keep coming back in and being frustrating to the other team. Actually, they're not going to revive because we're able to go in there and lock her out, and then place a block active skills, even mitigating and working around her Stone Skin, right? So you can see a very tanky team. We just dealt with an Emic, a Rock of Vile Tide. They have cleanses, they have block debuffs, they have more cleanses, they have heals, they have revives, they have taunt. I mean, they have block, they have so much. But we're able to make very quick work of them by a speedy, all-out control squad. Let's go ahead and switch the team here. I just threw a random kind of tandem on with Karato. It's still a go first team. I think that's a go first team best suits Karato, right? He doesn't really fit on a go second team to me because you give the opponents too much time to set up, have a block debuffs, whatever, right? So here we have Timid the Fool and Kaja the Rai. You know, I imagine most of you probably don't have both of these champions either, but it just gives you an idea of a non-Yumeko team. You could really put any kind of champions. We want to set them up with increased attack, most importantly, but let's come in here and block active skills with the A3. In this case, we killed everybody. You're seeing the damage coming from Karato so far to be good, but maybe not beyond S tier like we're used to now from some of the best nukers in the game. Best nukers in the game, like the Taras, and the White King Narcissus, Siegfried, the Nephilim, those type of guys, right? But we're still seeing enough damage to certainly get the job done, right? And for my money, outside of mythicals, he's a top 5 certainly spirit nuker in the game, right? We got Magnar, we've got Cleotyrix. We've got Karato, we've got Yannicka, right? Those are the first that come to my mind. He's in that conversation. Anyway, we come in here, we kill everybody. I mean, that's it. And the beautiful thing is that's where his nuke really works out. You just saw it right there, right? We killed everybody except the Reviver, but we blocked the active skills of the Reviver, so she's no longer able to come in there and revive the rest of the team. So not only does he kill, but he also brings control, able to mitigate how they're able to recover from said kills with his A3. Let's do one more here with this team, and then I want to show you him in Fire Knight, because this dude is very, very good in Fire Knight. Let's go in Timid's A2, try to reduce the... Timid's up next, right? So I love Timid because he can come in here and reduce the duration of those stone skins and nicely set the table for Karato to come in and hopefully kill everybody, right? Timid is very good, very good. To be able to go in there and remove Stone Skin like that by reducing the duration is extremely powerful. So now he sets the table very nicely. And again, look at that. We didn't kill the Reviver, but she has block active skills. We have really, really good control on a team like this. And this is, I wouldn't say all made possible by Karato, but he's a big part of how this all works, right? We have a Timid going in there. He's got True Fear. We've got Karato going in there, block active skills. We got a stun. It's really, really nice having him on a team as a control nuker. It's a very, very, I would say underrated role in a lot of arena teams, having a control nuker like that. Anyway, let's go to, let's go to Dungeons. I have this squad here. We're going to go Fire Knight 25, which I think is where he shines, you know, the normal stage. He doesn't have that freeze on the A1 to really bring that control that we're looking for Fire Knight hard. That being said, you could definitely use him. He still has the 3 hits. You can go Phantom Touch and get a credit for a 4th hit as well. But anyway, I have this team with a couple rares. I have Apothecary, I have Cold Heart. I have Stag Knight as just a debuffer. He has decreased speed on his A1 as well. I have Cryode in the blue. He has great control as well. He has an AoE freeze, as you're seeing right now. And then Karato's going to help us get through these waves. We don't have like a Sear or Poison Combust or anything like that on this team, so it will take a little bit of time. So you can see the nice thing about having Karato in any wave content, this could be any dungeon. This could be Cursed City. This could be Doom Tower. The nice thing about having him is, check it out, man. I mean, like, It's a lot of control that he brings to the table with the stun and the block active skills. He makes it a lot easier to progress. So I'll come back to you guys when we get to the Fire Knight. We'll see how this team is able to handle the Fire Knight, given we don't have a Reviver and we don't have much support either. We just have Apothecary, and that's about it. Be right back. All right, guys, here we go. Let's see how we do here. Yeah, absolute 100% lockdown all the way getting to the Fire Knight. Now, can we stay alive for the Fire Knight? Now, I do want to mention, again, he does not have Giant Slayer, nor does he have a War Master, anything like that. So he is not equipped with the, the extra damage that all these other champions are when we talk about the actual Fire Knight battle here, which... so far, so good. I would love a little bit more. Oh, Coldheart gets back to the Heartseeker. She lapped back into the Heartseeker to take that turn meter down. Bedevils is doing very well, like good damage, 100k both times. So we're going to take a big hit there. But we're already going back. You can see he got the Retribution proc, I believe, there, right? Was that a turn or was that Retribution on the A1? I wasn't keeping track. But either way, a lot of hits, get that shield down really quickly. And man, this wasn't even close. Did a very, very good job. Made fairly quick work considering we didn't have a quick wave clear there other than Karato. Karato does a good job. Out-damages everybody else on the team. Nice control. Helped us through the waves. And there you go, guys. That is a Karato Foxhunter guide. Very, very good control NUKER blend. We don't have a lot of these in the game, so he's definitely one of my favorites. Let me know what you think of this champion as well in the comments below. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.